Good morning. Hey, YouTubers. Hey, all my Facebook friends. Good to see y'all out there. All my friends on Parler and MeWe as well. It's a happy Tuesday morning. Hope you're doing wonderful out there. I know I sure am. Good to see y'all this morning. It's Storytelling Tuesday. And boy, I've got a doozy for you today. Maybe a couple of them. So, it's also freezing down here in Louisiana. Hey, Patricia, good to see you. I know it's cold all over the place, kind of, but it's freezing down here from Morgan City, and I am loving it, although it's chilly in the studio. So, got my beanie and I get to wear my robe for real. Hey, Cindy, good morning. Good to see you this morning. Happy Tuesday. So, I've been enjoying the morning, y'all. I got some work stuff done. Paul Matthew Lowe, good to see you, brother. Good morning. I got a little playing this morning. It's December 1st, so I'm trying to get my new year started a little early, and I've been back on my 4 o'clock in the morning routine, thank goodness. I kind of let it slip there a little bit the last couple of weeks. Hey, Elizabeth, good morning. So I'm staying warm now. Hey, Angie Terry Louvier, good to see you. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. So, yeah, I've had a great morning this morning, y'all, and I hope you have too. And it's Storytelling Tuesday, so my buddy Corey Stallcup was asking a while back about some stories from Africa. I posted some clips and a couple of little pictures from the time I spent in Africa. For those of you guys who don't know, hey, Uncle Duty, good to see you. Good morning. For those of y'all who don't know, back in 2008, I moved back down to Morgan City and got a job at Cameron here in town. And I worked at Cameron and Berwick for about a year, and I was on a project for BP and Cameron, and I got asked by a guy who was already on the project if I would accompany them to Africa. So I went to my parents' house and sat down and told my mom, I said, hey Mom, I'm going to Angola. And she said, what did you do now? Because, you know, the state pen here in Louisiana is called Angola. So my mom thought I was going to prison, but I said, no, I'm not going to that Angola. I'm going to Africa. And so a month or so later, I found myself in Angola in West Africa, working on this project. And I'm going to tell you the story about the first day I landed in Soyo. So, went to Africa, got on the plane in Houston with another buddy of mine. He was going to be what's called my back-to-back. I was on rotation there, so I was going to spend 30 days, and then he was going to spend 30 days, and we were going to trade off. But since this was our first trip, we had to go over there and do audits of our vendor who was building all this equipment for us out there. So, me and this guy left from Houston and flew on the Houston Express, which is a flight dedicated just for oil and gas workers for the most part, going from Houston to Luanda, which is the capital city of Angola in West Africa. So we flew from Houston to Luanda, and we spent a couple of days in Luanda getting our work visas straightened out, and there's a big base there in Luanda in the capital city as well. I'll tell you some stories about that another time. But then we were going to fly to Soyo, which they were doing some work in 3 places, in Luanda, in Soyo, which is North Angola, on the Congo River. It's where the Congo River meets the Atlantic Ocean. So you can look across the river and see the Democratic Republic of Congo right there. Hey, Tex, good to see you. Jack Daniel, good morning. Drew Moses. Hey, Jackie, good morning. Hey, Shauna, good morning. Randy Mayfield, good to see you this morning. Hey, Renee. So hey, Tex, good to see you, brother. So at this time, Soyo is a little village right there on the point. And it's just a little village that has a base there that services all the offshore oil rigs. So we're going from Luanda to Soyo, and at this time they were doing work on the airport in Soyo. They were just really building and extending the runway for commercial flights. And they were only flying 8-seaters at the time. and you could only bring 20 kilos with you. So, or 10 kilos, I guess it was, because 20 pounds. So 10 kilos with you, a little over 20 pounds. So we had all this luggage, because we were going to stay for them. You know, I was going to go for a couple of weeks, and my buddy was going to stay, and then I was going to go back a month later. But we were just moving in, we thought, so we had all our luggage, and they told us we couldn't bring it all. They were going to truck it. You know, we could bring only a limited amount of stuff, or 10 pound or 20 pounds, and they were going to truck the rest of it, and it would be in Soyo. It's like a 12-hour or 13-hour drive, I think, something like that. But it's the road wasn't very good at this time, and there's a bunch of landmines you got to watch out for. Not the safest drive. So they were flying 8-seaters, and there we took off. You know, it was the three of us and a couple other guys, and we left Luanda and landed in Soyo, our little village. And it's our first time there, so it's kind of like the old joke, a coon-ass, a Texan, and an Englishman are in an airport, because we met my buddy Andy there, who was responsible for bringing me to Africa. He's from England, and we all three flew to Soyo and landed there, and we had to go through customs, you know, and the airport in Soyo is maybe about the size, I don't know, of a small convenience store. And, you know, it's like something, it was like landing in something out of a movie, because we landed on this little runway off this little 8-seater plane that we flew up along the west coast of Africa, probably just at a few thousand feet. And landed in Soyo, came in over the mangrove trees, circled in like that, landed in, and it was just quite an experience, because I'd never seen anything like that. You know, the chickens running across the runway and in the terminal. And then we had to go through customs, which is a few guards in this little shack who want to go through all your luggage. You got to open up all your bags, and they search all your stuff. And we were told, you know, at this point we didn't really have any luggage. I had a backpack that I threw a change of clothes in, and my laptop bag. And because that's all we could bring was a small stuff of 20 pounds, you know. So they went through all our bags and everything, and thanks, Kelly. You can get one at halbruni.com, thanks, or you can just message me. Hey, Julie, good morning. Hey, Rick. Hey, Mom, good morning. And I'm using the beanie for real today because it's cold in here. You know, during the summer, a lot of times I'm wearing the robe, I'm sweating in here, but not today. So we landed in Soyo, went through customs, and we were expecting to meet our contact there. Well, we go through customs, and we're sitting in the terminal, and nobody's there to meet us. So it's a coon-ass, a Texan, and an Englishman in this little African village in northern Angola, and nobody's there to meet us. So we get on our Blackberries. We got our Blackberries, you know, and we're trying to call who our contact is and everything, and we're not having any luck. We don't really have any service, you know. And this is kind of mid-afternoon. So we wait, and we see some other folks come in, and some other flights come in. There's some other working guys from different places coming in, and they have shuttle buses that meet them to take them to the base there in Soyo, Kwanda base. So nobody's there to pick us up. And we keep asking everybody, Cameron, you know, nobody knows. So we're sitting there, and as the afternoon goes on, it thins out and it thins out, and pretty soon they're closing the airport because they don't have any lights. You know, they don't fly there at night because they don't have any runway lights. So they're closing the airport, and the three of us are now outside the airport in this little village of Soyo, where there's the airport, and there's a main road there that's paved, and you can see the school, and there's a police station down there, and a couple of shops, markets. So finally, it's just starting to get dusk, and we're thinking, what the heck are we going to do? You know? So, because we're sticking out like a sore thumb at this point. Well, this shuttle pulls up, and the guy has a window down, local guy has a window down. So I'll walk up to him and say, Cameron, he says, Quanda Base. He said, Quanda Base, Quanda Base. I said, Cameron. He says, Cameron, Cameron. I said, okay, guys, this is us. Our guy's finally here. So the three of us get in this shuttle. We're the only guys on the shuttle, you know. Here we go, proceeding through Soyo for our first time and getting a chance to see the village. And so we're passing by the shop. There's a little naval base there. And it's very interesting. The architecture's kind of I don't know how to really put it. It was an old Portuguese colony, so it's old European kind of architecture there, and but there was 35 years of civil war there too. So if you can kind of imagine that. So we're tooling down the main road. It's paved. Hey, Joffrey, good morning. Hey, Christina, good to see you this morning. Hey, Barbara, good morning. So we're tooling down this little African village on the main drag, you know, and it's paved, and it's right on the coast there. So we're kind of looking at the river, you know, and we're driving through, kind of enjoying the scenery, wondering where we're going, and all of a sudden, as we're going, the guy takes a detour and pulls off the paved road onto this dirt side road. And like, well, this is kind of strange, but we don't know where we're going. We have no idea. But we go from the main road, which there were a few cars that would pass every now and then, to this side road through the back part of town where, you know, not about anybody's really passing. You know, we're going down through this town, the back part of the village, and as we're coming up, driving down the road, right there ahead of us, there's 6 or 8 local guys that are standing in the middle of the road. And we start slowing down. At this point, I realize and I think to myself, damn, I didn't see any identification from this guy. He didn't show me a badge. I just asked him. I'm the one that told him where we were going. He didn't say, are you guys this or that? I'm the one that really said, hey, this is who we are and this is where we're going. And we just jumped on this shuttle with a guy that we don't even know in Soyo, Angola. That was the first time I was in Angola and thought, I might get my head cut off today. So we're coming up on these gentlemen that are standing in the road, and we start slowing down, and we come to a stop, and our driver opens the door. And all of us look at each other. We don't know what's about to happen. And our driver starts yapping at these guys out the door. They start yapping back at him, and they're kind of laughing and chuckling, so we're thinking, okay, this might not be too bad. Finally, we just realized that they're speaking Portuguese, you know, so we don't really understand what they're talking about. They're speaking Portuguese, and we're just kind of wondering what the hell's going on. Well, fortunately, they have a laugh and a little chuckle to themselves. The driver closes the door, and on we go back to the base. But there for a split second, I thought, oh my gosh, you know, maybe you ought to think a little bit more before you go trusting people around here, because you're not going to know what you're going to end up in. And we went through all the safety training, and we had all the talks about what we were supposed to do and what not to do, you know, but you never know where you're going to find yourself. But that was the first time when I was in Africa that the thought went through my head that, oh, this could be real, you know. Fortunately, we ended up back at the base. We got to where we were going, and it was a heck of an experience, the 4 years that I spent there, or almost 4 years I spent there going back and forth. And I've got a bunch of stories that I'm going to be sharing with you over the next few weeks, because some of them have to do with being around Christmas. That was my first hitch going there, and met a lot of great people over there, had a bunch of wonderful experiences, and a few hair-raising ones too. Fortunately, that one was, like I said, the first time that the thought crossed my mind, this could be a dangerous situation here. but it wasn't the last. So I've got a few more stories to share with you. As we go along, Corey wanted to hear about my time in Africa, so I'm going to start sharing some with you. And I've got one that I'm going to close with you as we get close to Christmas. I've got stories about being stranded in a hotel there for a month because they took my passport. I've got a bunch of work stories and stories about the house we stayed in and the people I met. I guess and I was sick in Africa a couple of times. I got a mystery African disease while I was there. If you remember me last week talking about being off my prescription medication and feeling bad for a couple of days, that's a little lingering effect of when I was over in Africa. And but my favorite story I'm going to tell you right before Christmas, because my favorite story from Africa is the time I made it home for Christmas by getting on a commercial flight without a ticket. And that's one of my favorite stories of all time. It's unbelievable even to me sometimes. But that's Storytelling Tuesday for you. Look for those stories from Africa coming up. My buddy Corey wanted to hear those, so I'll be sharing some of those with you around from between here and Christmas. And I'm so glad to get to share this time with you guys, and thank y'all for sharing this time with me. Happy Tuesday, y'all. It's Storytelling Tuesday. There's a little story for you from Africa. The first time I landed in Soyo. So I got a song and a smile for you today too. You believe it, huh, JR? The Handler's on. Boy, the Handler got some stories too, I know that. And it's Tuesday. You can check him out with Justin Moore on the Justin Moore podcast. Go check those guys out. I've been watching some of that, and it's fantastic. They've got a great special guest on there. They share some wonderful stories. Justin Moore's a hell of an artist, and JR's been in the music business since Wayne got his ass into it years and years ago. Frankie Pate, good to see you this morning, brother. Foster's in the house. Hey, Danae, good morning. Gerald Price, good morning, brother. So look forward to that, and check out the Justin Moore podcast if you can. With the Handler. I love that new merch too, Handler. I gotta get one of those shirts. Yeah, you're right, brother. All right, I'm gonna try this little song for you. I was gonna do something else, but I thought of this song right before I went on for Storytelling Tuesday. Because this is a little story song. This is a story song about me and my buddy Todd Bagwell. When Todd and I were in high school, I had to go to catechism for all the you guys who are Catholic like me. I had to go to catechism every Monday, and but Todd and I used to skip out a catechism, and we would go sit on the seawall every Monday night. If all you around Morgan City, if you've ever been here, you ever been to Morgan City, you know we have the Great Wall downtown that protects us from the river. We got a big 20-foot seawall down there, and so Todd and I used to go sit on the seawall every Monday and drink, skipping out of catechism. And there was an appliance store right downtown called May Falcons, and they had a big screen TV in the window there. So Todd and I would skip out of catechism every Monday, and we would watch Monday Night Football on the seawall on the big screen at May Falcons, and drink every Monday and try to write songs. And we'd watch the train go by, and we'd say, one of these days we're going to hop that train and get the hell out of this town. So hey, Tanner, good morning. Hey, Kim, good morning. Hey, Barbie, good to see y'all this morning. Happy Storytelling Tuesday. So we'd say, we're going to get the hell out of this town. Well, years later, I was sitting there thinking about that and laughing about that. I wrote this song about it. It's called One of These Days We're Going to Hop That Train. If I can remember the whole thing. I remember sitting around town when we were younger, dreaming of all the other places that we'd rather be. We'd sit and watch that old Freightliner rumbling by and swear one of these days we're gonna hop that train. Yeah, one of these days we're gonna be the heroes. One of these days we'll be players in the big game. We're gonna make $1 million. Everyone will know our names. One of these days we're gonna hop that train. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Shauna, you remember May Falcons? That's right. All right, here we go. See if I can get it right. Hey Todd, I bet that you could be a big star in Hollywood like Billy Bob Thornton. Man, you got to have a chance. Hal, I think we ought to just sit here and write us a song. Hey Todd, you're right, brother, we'd better stick to that. Well, one of these days we're gonna be the heroes. One of these days we'll be players in the big game. We're gonna make $1 million, everyone will know our names. One of these days we're gonna hop that train. Rollo! Good morning, brother! Now we both left that little town long time back now, and I'm surprised how much and how little we have changed. Yeah, we've grown quite a spell, but still raise a little hell. Guess we'll have to settle down one of these days. Hey Samantha, hey Tina, good morning. Y'all believe that? I don't think so. Well, one of these days we're gonna be the heroes. One of these days we'll be players in the big game. We're gonna make $1 million, everyone will know our names. One of these days we're gonna hop that train. Yeah, one of these days we're gonna hop that train. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Brian Cunningham, T-Town in the house. Good to see you on a Tuesday, brother. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the stories today. And thanks for joining me. I sure had a great time. I hope you did too. And it's a beautiful day out there, and I'm enjoying the coolness. I hope you are too. It's putting a little pep in my step, get me ready for the new year because 2020 is almost over. And we can't wait. So go out there, y'all. You know what you got to do. Go out there and enjoy this beautiful day today. Go enjoy some coolness. I hope you're feeling frisky. I know I sure am. Todd's back in Tuscaloosa, Shauna. Yep, he moved up there with me a while back, years and years ago. And then he bummed around like I did, working contract jobs, doing some construction stuff. And he moved back to Tuscaloosa, and he and Laura got married a few years back, and he's been there ever since. So he's doing good. I'm going to give him a shout today, too. I hadn't talked to him in quite a while, so we'll see how that Thanksgiving went. So, good stories with my old pal Todd. He's one of the reasons I'm here today playing this guitar, because the first guitar I ever really learned on was his brother Brett's guitar. I didn't have a guitar at the time, and Todd and I used to sit around skipping out of catechism and building fires in his driveway and stuff like that, and listening to old country music. And you know, I've been writing songs my whole life, and I didn't know why, but when I first started listening to country music and hanging around Todd like that, it wanting to play and wanting to learn how to play guitar became I have to learn how to play guitar. So I borrowed Brett's guitar and played it for a little bit, and that's kind of how I got started. So my old buddy Todd, love him out there, wherever you are, brother, love you. Yeah, I got the studio all lit up for Christmas, Barbie. Getting ready for it. I can't wait. Hey, Johnny Chauvin, good to see you this morning. Hey, y'all go check out some of Johnny Chauvin's music this morning. Get your toes tapping on this Tuesday. Yeah, you're right. I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do it. Thank y'all for listening to these stories too, y'all. I sure appreciate it. And I had a great time sharing some time with y'all today for a Tuesday. So go out there today, y'all. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Spread some happiness and healing around. Perpetuate some positivity. And join us back tomorrow for Wayne Wednesday. Peace!